now hopefully we do well also voice wise, as it has been a bit demanding in that respect since the convention, as we had slightly excessive use of air conditioning for a couple of days in the room, so which also led to kind of minor loss of any voice for some time, especially after also yelling against various sound systems. So very usual. By now rather better sounding compared to last week, so let's go again at this, and even a new game, Project Highrise, which is kind of SimTower for the 2020s apparently, at least according to the overall design of the game. It resembles the old SimTower a lot. Did the tutorials already, which took like 15 minutes, so not that much content to them, and do think that the game should be quite easy to play, probably starting with the scenarios. So welcome again, and let's have a go at it. So move towards the game here. There we go, and let's see. Let's see then how it works out. So let's choose the first scenario first. Neighborhood revitalization. Difficulty easy. The area of town has seen better days, and if those in the power have their way, it will see those better days again soon. The building was once a jewel of the city's architectural pantheon. Its lobby remains a vestige of those bygone glories, with a stunning lobby mural protected by the city's landmark commission. Alright. Your task is to revive this building to its former splendor. The landmark commission will arrange for subsidies for floor and infrastructure construction. Alright, let's play then. And we have 3 goals: revenue, neighborhood recovery, so should have population and new landmarks. So we should have 30 prestige stars, a fountain, and everything. So there's apparently the famous mural, Victory of Architecture. At least it has a very impressive name, and it looks very modern. We also have 2 nice ficus trees in the lobby. Otherwise the unit looks a little worn though. Oh, hello there, Luna. Good to see you here. And yes, this game is at least new to this one, but it looks a lot like SimTower, so certainly should be interesting. Always good to have you here. So let's see, then we should most probably renovate all the units even. So let's click at the maintenance office proper, and we have 15,000 budget, so we should really renovate pretty much everything. It's only like 2,190, so everything has been ordered to be renovated, as all of these things looks a little worn, to say the least. Will probably take a while for everything to be renovated, but at least we are trying. We do also have a courier service apparently in the building, and office supplies, alright. And apparently a news agent, yes. pretty much everything is getting worn down, so at least it was easy to order maintenance for everything. Then we have to wait for maintenance to take place, like apparently here currently, so at least something is happening in that respect. We do have some empty space apparently here. Easy quality soups, alright. And we could probably add some apartment rentals. Space taken by them is kind of, this would be the right size, so let's add like one here. Big furnishings. We actually can't pick any option. Why? That's actually interesting. We do not fulfill the minimum conditions, so we can't actually furnish it. Which is kind of not the best use. Alright, and this tenant is unhappy. Rent is too high. Our employees seem unhappy here. Alright, maybe it should like lower the rent until we like get it renovated, which would probably improve the satisfaction. Also here rent is too high, so let's reduce it until we get the thing renovated. At least it looks like some things are getting renovated. Oh, hello there, Manchu and Tigatron. Great to see you both here also. Always good to see you around. And indeed, the first post-con fuzzled stream, and seem to be by now even having mostly good voice again due to the earlier excessive application of air conditioning. We found the control panel like only after a couple of nights, so that caused some extra wear on voice in general. So we could most probably like also add a floor. Fortunately, adding floors to buildings is much easier in the game than it would actually be when we consider how difficult adding new floors normally is. You can just like build a new floor block by block, which is very convenient compared to real buildings. And then we need to add elevators, which are also quite modestly priced, and then we need to add the kind of technical and other wiring closets so that we have the necessary services available, like electricity. There we go. Learned this from the tutorial, so mostly know how to do it. Right. Right, let's give somewhat lower rent also. At least we had plenty of expenses, which isn't totally surprising as we have been trying to do some improvements. Western Avenue Burger Grill, they also have like lowered rent for now, because it seems that almost every place is kind of worn down, so we can increase their rent once they have had their places renovated. Right, now we can even add new extra offices once the new floors are built. At least some of the offices have by now been renovated. This is kind of hard because it would require greater variety of stores, so we need to at some point improve on that, and or for now get rid of that, because we clearly can't get rental apartment there with the current requirements, so we could as well instead put offices there. We can even have an accounting office, legal office, creative office, so we can choose like what kind of industry we would like to have as the tenant. Which of course like increases the opportunities to probably have, like would think law office has especially wealthy users or something like that. Hopefully let's have like legal office. Anita Gallagher law group sounds nice. And then we can put one accounting office next to them, and Gaian tax offices. There we go. Now we have some more offices in the building even, and there are a few other empty spots also, so we can add retail maybe at some point. Actually you can build retail even under ground level. Interesting. At least nothing is threatening to move out for now, which is a good start. Unlike in SimTower, where it tended to be that like all the location ratings dropped in one night so much that most of the tenants moved out during a single night when the ratings dropped sufficiently, which kind of made it very difficult that you suddenly lost all the tenants and then just got stuck. It tended to be like one given night all the spaces would drop enough in rating that all the tenants moved out, which was kind of problematic in that game. It was also in SimTower where if you had hotel rooms and you didn't really arrange cleaning for them, you could keep using them for some time and then it would happen like you got a icon of cockroach on them and then they would be too dirty, so you actually couldn't clean them up even if you put cleaning in, but rather you had to demolish them and start over, which was kind of a rough mode of renovation. Like room got so useless that we had to demolish it and start over, which of course is kind of a rough mode of renovation. And yes, here we have the famous artwork, which apparently is protected. Victory of architecture, which kind of a modernist piece, would say. And here we have also the 2 new offices we let out, getting built. And here we have some refreshment going on. So maybe once this is refreshed, we can even increase the rent back to the normal level, as they probably are more happy to pay when their soup store is not worn down. Some of the office units have already gotten maintained, so at least something is happening in that respect, fortunately. Right, this is now maintained, so let's see if we increase the rent back to normal level. This is still getting worn down, so unsure if they exchange their contracts, like then they tell that our rent got increased back, and then the others are ours didn't, and then we have like unpleased customers on both sides. Unsure what this is really supposed to be. It's only like lamps and a door leading into it, and that could also be offices, so what if we like just remove that room, as it doesn't seem to have any purpose. Actually, that removed the whole floor. That was not quite what intended to do. So let's build that back. Like, let's remove a few pieces of the floor. Maybe not. We apparently have space for one more office there, so let's add that. Legal offices. David Olsen. Sounds fine. Alright, and now we have used that up to capacity. And there we have again maintenance going on. So let's see how this progresses, as we at least are trying to get everything maintained. Small restaurant, alright, we could install more restaurants here. How much space the medium one takes? That's pretty large. Right. And the smallest one is unsurprisingly smaller. Then we have the stores that actually take quite a bit of space. Right. And we can also apparently see the people coming and going, so it's quite nice. This is like mobile phone store, alright. So it's kind of larger store looks like that. Alright, and these offices are getting renovated, and that was built, looks good. Right, these start to be all renovated, looks much better. And then we can probably build even medium office upstairs. Theoretically yes, but it takes space, so that is it like medium office takes more space than two small offices, so it's kind of hard to fit them in a meaningful fashion to the floor width, because it's like you can fit like 4 small offices or less than 2 medium offices, so it's kind of not very good use of the floor space. But it's like if we use one of the small like food things, for example, like because they are less wide than the small office, can it then fit like, because this takes 3 and the office takes 4 tiles and the medium it's only 2 tiles left, so not even that way. It's kind of to say the least not the best possible. Like what can you fit there? Not much if you want to have. Oh, hello there, Light. Great to see you here too. First stream post confuzzled, and this far even have succeeded at mostly keeping this one's voice that was mildly worn down by the convention, so also in that respect certainly successful. So let's see, would be nice to do the medium office, but it's like then the floor space wouldn't be used very effectively, and in turn we can fit to the sides, we can fit 2 small offices, so that's pretty clear what we should be doing there. The widths of the units are not very good for this type of Do you think this will get repaired or automatically, would imagine? Would imagine we have a maintenance office. Yes, so they should be fixing that. And here we also have a telephone central, so and this has also been fixed, so we can most probably increase the rent back. Not at least above 100% though. There we go. Now that the units have been mostly refreshed. And this has also been refreshed, so let's increase the rent back, as they were not very happy at their stores being burned down. This is also getting fixed. Good. Alright, we can add some small offices here. Insurance offices, sure. Wozniak Drobles LLC. Alright, they do not pay very high rents. So let's add also legal office there. And also add small offices on the other side. We can also get one creative office. Avant-garde design. No wonder. They at least pay much better compared to the insurance guys. Global Insurance Co. Alright. Alright, now we have the small offices. Let's try for... Here we could fit 4, but if we have the medium office, it might at least have different users. Video game studios, alright, quite a few different types. Financial offices sounds fancy. Variety of medium restaurants, alright, they are pretty demanding. Is it actually that we can't? Yeah, we can have creative and technical, and it's already 340 even for that, so we most probably also need to put up the phone lines for the upper floor, so let's check that. There we go. Yes, we haven't yet put the phone lines to the offices, which of course, if you have a nice office, you of course want to also have a phone in it, so let's not forget to install the telephone. And of course not the Angel Dragon one, but the actual like wired telephone apparently. Cable TV. Apparently we do not have any water facilities shown. We have electricity, phone, and no cable TV. Apparently nobody has asked for it. At least they seem satisfied, so. And here's also space for one small office, so let's add that. This is still kind of a mystery. What was this and why it had the lobby style walls? Because it didn't really seem necessary. Then demolished some which removed the wall floor, and now it has some that are the normal style and some in the lobby matching style. Probably missed a bit how that worked. Right, also the mobile phone store is getting renovated, so it should at least not get too many complaints from the tenants. Most probably should add another floor and actually add medium restaurant there, so we might have the fancier types more preferring, because the required medium restaurants to have the more fancy medium offices. So let's build another floor and add some of those. There we go, like now we have an additional floor and all. Once it gets actually built. And then we have these two spots that are not kind of right size for anything. Midway wines, so we actually even have a wine store. Could apparently also place offices here, but still leaves one spot unused. Currently seems we do not have any additional tenants, but we can advertise for some. So let's advertise for free office space and see how that goes. Alright, and now the medium office done, except not enough phone switchboards in the building. Alright, we need more switchboard capacity, so let's see, can we somehow upgrade this, or how do we solve the issue? Phone and medium switchboard, that's 50, and it takes exactly like one more space, so we could most probably, like, if we add like another small switchboard, can we like use two of them for now? Let's see. Yep, so we have like 20 phone connections now, which should again last for a while, like using two small ones, but it becomes at some point probably easier to replace these two, like with one that gives 50 phone connection capacity for the building. So in that sense looks fair enough for the phone capacity. Right, we did get some offers for accounting offices, and of course we are taking preferably the accountants, as they pay better clearly than the insurance guys. There we go. Let's see how we are doing. We are actually currently like profitable with about 500 extra over operating costs. So in that sense, at least we are profitable, though of course investing a lot more than that still currently. Oh, hello there, Camu. This is project Highrise, which is kind of SimTower for the 2020s. Apparently, it uses a lot of similar 2D construction aesthetics, but has more things to it. So this is practically kind of modern take on the same principles as SimTower. And this far it seems like a pretty nice game also. So alright, our new floor is still getting done. This has now been renovated, also nice. Pretty good. We have now actually increased revenue pretty nicely, so of course expenses are still outrunning them, as we have been doing a lot of investments, but it's looking a bit better already financial wise. Let's see if retail or something fits that spot. No, it's also one spot too wide. The overall design of the slots make this kind of like one medium office, and then you have the problem that nothing really fits that slot well. Like the medium restaurant is too large, the normal restaurant again leaves 2 free, and the food stall is still 3 wide, so it's like nothing really fits well with the medium office in this layout. At least the tenant here at the architectural practice seems to be pleased. And then we are adding the floor, probably with some new restaurants and such. Here we could also do something else, as didn't really understand how it works. As the lobby. You can also add a restaurant under the underground, apparently. So technically we could build medium restaurant in the cellar. Let's see if it's possible to even get anything there. Fast food restaurant. Taco Coast, that sounds good. So you can have tacos in the cellar. Fair enough. Which of course seems like a popular idea. Some nice tacos in the cellar. Let's see how that works out. And here it is kind of like we have some spots. Can we now actually... Yeah, we can build an office here, but we can't build one there. So let's have one office there. This is done, so we can add another medium restaurant there, maybe a higher class one. Like much higher class, let's add a pizza place. Needs a water pipe hookup, so now we need to actually do something about the water. Expect trash bins on the same floor. Alright. Columbus Family Pizzeria. Let's put that one in. And also, do we need water connection here? We'll see. And also, how does the water exactly work? We at least apparently need a plumbing closet on each floor, which kind of... If we place plumbing closets in different floors, I'm unsure if it actually works that way. It's kind of an issue if we do not originally have the spots for water. Getting the water up there might be... Yeah, here we have the kind of like lack of water, so we actually can add the plumbing closet here, but just require that they are all in the same line, in which case and the water connection apparently comes to the ground floor, yes. If we add the plumbing closet here, it gets connected at least, so now we can actually add water connection there. So that should work. And of course electricity. Which is quite easy. Alright, lack of water. Alright, it requires a water meter. A lot of things. 10 water connections. Alright. There we go. Now we have water capability in place. And you can get tacos on the cellar floor. So looks better already. But the restaurants are actually quite demanding because you have to place also the water connection, which is somewhat of a new thing and actually requires plumbing closets. So it's most probably demolish one part of the lobby here to add the plumbing closet. There we go. And of course it removes the whole floor, so we need to first construct the floor. Fair enough. And now it's kind of a lot of retrofitting. This is going to be hard. The idea was nice, but it requires a lot of work to actually get the plumbing to all floors. Let's see if we add a plumbing closet higher up. Does it actually provide water without all the intervening ones? Right now we have plumbing in place there, and if we add one up here, nope, it has to be on every floor, which is kind of problematic. Will be fun retrofitting the whole thing, which requires demolishing quite a few offices. And actually it costs more to break the leases, so it will be impossible to get water here anytime soon. And actually this costs even prestige, so it's kind of like, yeah, they have no water, but delivering water is actually quite hard. Electricity we should in any case provide to the whole floor, which requires the electricity wiring cabinet. There we go. So now we can at least provide electricity for the floor, which is less of an issue as we can actually get electricity up here. And we could also theoretically have water, but and as you can build only horizontal pipes with this tool, it's kind of getting water up there is actually a difficult issue. So it was kind of a good idea Oh, a small adventure. Sounds nice. So getting water up there proved to be actually quite a challenge. As it actually would require moving several tenants out to get the plumbing closets constructed, so it's kind of difficult to make it work at all. It would require evicting all these, and it costs, so it's like 320 per each. It's actually easier to take the hit once. The only problem is the wine one. 650, alright. So now we can actually have water up there and at the plumbing cabinets. Because there was no really meaningful solution otherwise. Oh yeah, we need to apparently also remove. Right, we have to wait construction workers to clean the debris up, so now we at least can have plumbing for all floors. Kind of a retrofit. We need to have water. Oh well. Now we can at least. Looks like this is quite popular actually. Tacos for everyone. Yeah, they seem to be making revenue pretty nicely. So clearly the medium restaurant was not such a bad idea. The pizza one is kind of still lacking water, as it proved to be surprisingly hard. Right, and why are these unhappy? Right, let's lower the rent at least for now and see if they actually can run a business successfully in that respect. Alright, these are getting cleaned up so we can construct the plumbing closets hopefully moderately soon. It's actually considerable work to evict tenants at all, because then there's the rubbish that needs to be cleaned before you can construct there, and it's actually been made quite difficult to get rid of tenants, especially as these needs to be cleared space by space, so it's actually a lot of work which kind of is realistic when one considers how difficult it is to get rid of tenants in the general sense. So yes, this will actually take a while because these have to be cleaned up before we can construct, so let's hope these do not give up before we can get water to them, because it actually was not such a simple matter, and we had to eliminate the wine shop, which of course is sacrilege. Right. At least the taco thing was quite popular. Even while it's in the cellar. Somebody actually went there even while it's without water. Right, we can soon build the plumbing thing in this floor. Once that gets cleared up. right and slowly progressing towards having water in every floor. It would be nice if one could prioritize, like having the ones you need clean up first, but you've accumulated enough media buzz to start a new media campaign. Right, maybe not at least yet, but we have clearly had buzz lately from the medium restaurant here when people were using that, so and still this was a great idea. Let's put a pizzeria to the top floor, but that caused certain issues. Let's add some offices while we are at it, because we have some nice spots available, so we can have at least insurance guys. And continuing with the plumbing soon. Ah, hello there, Briareus. Nice to see you. So let's see, we still can't quite get the plumbing cabinet into place in all floors, but we can add the intervening one. So now we are missing only two once they clean up the debris. Not the simplest thing ever. This place seems to turn a pretty good profit. And then we can't quite, we can fit like the small food thing there actually, and hopefully that we can advertise for position for a food stall here, and that will actually, no, that won't either fit a medium office. It's like, or even a small office. It's like the overall, like this should be one wider so that they would sum up more nicely, but it is what it is. There would be apartments, but it would require still more services. So currently it's only offices and restaurants and some retail. We can actually build also housing, but haven't yet tried because it requires. Alright, now we have applicants for food stalls. Francis Chinese BBQ stand, Osaka tea shop, Green Carnation dumpling stand, and Rose sushi and rolls. Let's put a tea shop here. Nice. And now we can again construct one of the things for water. So we now have only one missing to finally have water also to the upper floor pizzeria, and then we are done with the probably most painful renovation for the place this far. So let's see. Once that is cleared up, we can finally put the final closet for the water, and then we can connect water also to the uppermost floor. This was like the most demanding renovation because the building wasn't originally plumbed for such a newfangled thing as the running water. So in that respect. And of course they removed that spot very last. That of course also helps with that the same plumbing closet can also pass the HVAC and such, so it helps a lot as we do not need any further closets to solve the overall issue. Cat burglars? Do not think so. Unsure if they are a thing at this game, because this is the first time actually playing this. Now we can add the final plumbing closet, and finally we can add water connection here. So that was probably the biggest effort. And for nothing, as while we were struggling with that, the pizzeria moved out due to lack of water. So that went like really well. We worked to get all of these in, and resulted in that we actually lost the tenant, but now we can put a new medium restaurant there once they clean up again the debris left behind, which is kind of, in general, getting rid of the tenants is very inefficient. We can also now build more offices here, so let's add again a medium office on this side, and then a small office here, and check that we also have telephone connections. Not yet, so let's take care of that, at least for the office part for now. Let's see if we can have a legal office. No, it actually needs greater variety of medium restaurants, cafes and small stores. We can again have a creative office. And they only need electrics and phone. Midtown Residential Designs Inc. Alright. And we also have one accounting office available, so good. Now we have some more tenants here. And need to try again for the medium restaurant soon. Alright, indeed unsure if they are like, reminds this one of the thing with the large building in Mission Impossible or something. Also, now that you say it. Ah, interesting, you had not heard of Project Highrise before, so nice to see it's a new game also for some joining us. Unsure if there are disasters. Tenants moving out is already enough of a disaster. In SimTower it also, which this is kind of a spiritual successor of it tended to be, that especially bad problem was the tenants moving out. Usually the same night all of them, because they decided they were not apparently sufficiently entertained and moved out en masse, which usually relieved you in financially. So in that respect also. Yeah, the kind of natural disasters at least do not know of any, fortunately. So let's see, now we have the space cleared up again, so let's try again with the medium restaurant. and hope we still get a tenant, yes, and would again like to have a pizzeria. So next one please, London's family pizzeria. So we actually even apparently get the same one again. This time they get water, so they should be considerably happier at the situation. And then we do have a 3 white spot also here. This seems to be alright here, so let's add also a small restaurant place here, as it's again 3 wide. So France's Chinese BBQ stand sounds fair enough. And then we have space left here now, and like one space there, because this was the earlier layout, so we could, considering the sizes of places, there isn't again much that fits that well. Here we can actually, because it's 4 wide, we can actually put an office here. Right, and rent is too high. Possibly too much competition. Let's adjust the rent at least for now and see how it goes. If there's simply too much competition overall, it might not be tenable, but then it is what it is. So now we should have this built up at some point, and we should add a fountain to the lobby, which probably requires something like, we need 10 influence, but we can have like a media bus, so we can give building additional things also. But it doesn't seem necessary currently, as the main issue is more of, yeah, we at least lowered the rent a bit, but if they move out, it's probably not profitable, so we can put an office there instead. Alright, and now we have everything in place here, so it's actually possible to have pizza there, unlike earlier when they had no water, which required a considerable reconfiguration for the whole building. Wonder why they still haven't built this, because there should be everything in place in that respect. Let's see how we can add a fountain. Chandelier, sculpture, fountains, alright. Needs a consultant upgrade, medium artworks. Alright, and they cost like 10,000, so not anytime soon. Yeah, that place moved out. Apparently too much competition restaurant wise. At least somebody went to the pizza place, so that should work, at least to a degree. Like that people can get there in the first place, which is a good start. Right now it seems actually quite popular, and the medium restaurants generate more buzz, like probably people are posting on that Bluebird site or something that had some pizza. I'm sure why this isn't getting built up, because it's not any different from, and there's the elevator in place, so shouldn't be impossible. Let's see if we can still like we can now put an office also here, because the lobby tiles have been removed sufficiently. Real estate office, nice. That pays pretty good rent also. Do we have electricity and phone there? Nope. Let's get that done. There we go. There are a few goals for this scenario, so you need to have sufficient amounts of tenants and prestige stars and add a fountain, because we already have the famous protected mural Victory of Architects, or whatever it was called here, and we need to improve the building further. Yes, Victory of Architecture, we need to improve the building further. And those are the goals in this scenario. So it has usually a mission for the scenarios you need to do in your building to win the scenario. And then there is like the freeform game where you just try to, with given kind of like limitations, build a very profitable / nice building. And we also have all the DLCs, so it's possible to have also like casino and hotel and whatever facilities, but we haven't yet made use of those, but rather like mostly been doing the offices. Right, and we have one free slot here now because the soup thing left, probably due to too much restaurant competition. So let's add freelance software developers. Wow, they do demand a lot. Parking spaces, vending machine, alright, they want to have what, like Coke. So probably not that. Let's add the insurance one. They anyway pay some rent in any case, so insurance office it is. Yeah, this also worked out pretty well, because they have already gotten more revenues than they pay rent, so it seems also the pizzeria would be a success on the top floor, at least currently the top floor. Yeah, it's possible, Briareus, that Rat went to investigate new pizza restaurant on the top floor. Get variety of building reports and analysis. Ah yeah, this is the very old school computer view, so we can get various printouts here like what kind of rents and costs we have and such. Visitor report, so the art even gets like 10 visitors. The mural must be popular. Alright, and why are these unhappy? Janitorial services needed. Alright. Do we need to build some kind of janitor janitor thing? Yes, janitorial services. So where does this actually need to be placed? Like, do wonder, does it need to be underground or? Because we do not quite have enough space at least directly, so can we like add some blocks to the cellar? Looks like it. So once those are done, we should have enough space for the janitorial services. Is there any other requirement than the janitorial services needed? Too noisy. Commercial printing services needed. Right. There's some space. Can we also add the commercial printing service there? Commercial printing service. That's very big. Would be easier to get rid of that office, and there we go. And then that needs to be cleaned up. Alright, at least they are doing that quickly. And this is finally getting built, so also good. So once that is cleaned up, we can build the requested commercial printing service. Do you think this turned a pretty good profit? Yes. Clearly the new pizza place was a good idea. So now we wait this to be cleaned up. If this moves out before we finish adding the services, oh well, then we can rent it out again. Also, this seems to be doing alright revenue wise, so alright, this will be soon cleared up so we can construct the commercial printing services there. Right. One piece of debris and takes a good while to clean up. There we go. Commercial printing services to be provided. At least trying to make improvements also in that respect. We are also coming up to the usual 1.5 hours soon, so let's try and finish the commercial printing services here, and then add janitorial services once there is space available either here or in the cellar, and then finish for today, save the game and see who we can raid. Even this scenario is taking a while, so there will be more of Project Highrise in the future very clearly, as this game seems to have some depth to it and is pretty nice. So most probably there will be more of this coming also in the future it would seem. Alright, and now once they are done, we can most probably add the janitorial services there, and then we should at least have no outstanding problems. Yes, as it's again like 3 slots left, let's build it on this edge. Alright, commercial printing services are no longer missing. No business cards means no business, but now we do have commercial printing services in place. And then we are now building the janitorial services, so should help here. So at least they shouldn't vacate their tenancy due to the issues with the... Alright, and that needs water. For once we can deal with that, no problem. Alright, and most probably also have we already connected electricity? Yes, phone. Most probably they... Yeah, now we have also janitorial services. So at least they do not have much spaces left for complaints. Janitorial services needed, commercial printing services needed. Those have been both taken care of, so would imagine that they are much happier about the situation now. Now we also have some extra space in the cellar that will not be needed yet, so we can now save the game and see who we can raid next. Would say, as we have done the usual 1.5 hours. So let's save the game here. There we go. And alright. Alright, let's then thank all of you for joining tonight. Very nice viewership, and give you a bit of a wave before we look at who we can raid. Alright, Nathan Lemur is playing Biomutant. Alright, what is Rayleigh doing? Fursuiter, alright. That would be nice. Let's check if Rayleigh is actually streaming in Suit. Alright, let's see. Uncertain what this is. Looks like some kind of video shot or something. Not that interesting. Let's see if Nathan is still playing. Yep. Let's go for that. It's a pretty stylish game. And they just got a jingly beanie. So very powerful items acquired too. So let's go for that. There we go, and thank you for joining, and good night indeed. So we'll see soon again for more games. And let's go.